And even here you drive by them. In New York, you walk right by them. So in New York, they're right there. They're in your space. They're in your world. And you got to make a choice. Every couple of blocks, you got to make a choice. You going to help or not? You got to keep shooting it. You got to put a limit on it somewhere, because you're not going to help all of them. And you're not going to help any of them, really, with a few bucks. But there's always that, like, there's a homeless guy who lives, he doesn't live anywhere, but, I mean, he's, by definition, he's at large. But he's often seen. He's always on the corner by my house. Same guy, every day. And I walk past him every day on the way to the store. I go to the same store every day. I go to Claire's. I don't know if you know Claire's. It's a jewelry store for children. I go there every day. I buy a handful of scrunchies and I run home. Everything else I buy online. But anyway, when I walk by this homeless guy in the morning, he always goes, "Hey, man, can you help me out?" And I go, "Sure." I give him $5. Then I go to the store. 5 minutes later, I walk by, and he says, "Hey, man, can you..." He doesn't remember, which is fine, but I don't want to give him another $5, you know? Because I only have a few million. I don't know why. I don't know why. I clearly should. I don't know what makes me go, You had your $5, young man. What am I going to spoil him? You know what I was thinking about today? I was thinking about Jesus. I was. Today, I was thinking about Jesus. And after I came, I thought, well, I feel sorry for Jesus. That's how I feel. I don't know how much you know about Jesus, but I feel fucking bad for Jesus, man. I do. He had a hard life. I mean, the last day was particularly difficult, but if you look at pictures of him, he had to wear that thong, that fucking just dish rag yanked up his balls. Just, carrying his cross like, fuck, just a rash. Some people say you should live like Jesus. Who can live? He was insane. You can't live like that. He had a weird life. I'm reading about Jesus. I have this book about Jesus. I'm going to share it with you. Okay. This is a book about Jesus. Actually, only this much is about Jesus. Only that, just that part. The rest of it is just the Jews going like, and then we walked for 50 years in the desert, and we only had a little bit of oil. It was difficult. It's fucking verbose. The Julia just Jews. It just goes on and on. And then Jacob bought a goat, and Abraham lived to be 800. Yeah, I bet he fucking did, too. The Jews in the early chapters are all like 800 years old. And then God was like, I can't with these fucking Jews for 800 years. Heart disease starts today. So that's them, and that's Jesus. All those little parts, Jesus. And the weird part is it's not all, like, it's all the same story over and over again. They tell the same story about Jesus' life over and over. First Matthew tells it, and then Mark is like, dude, that's not what, you're fucking drunk. Here's what happened. I'll tell you what happened. Hey, Paul, you weren't even here. Shut the fuck up. And I started reading it because I never read it. I was raised Catholic, but they don't encourage you to read in the church. They don't. They don't want you to read this. You know, Jews read this shit in Hebrew. And Baptists sit down, they read together, but the Catholics, they want you to come in the building. They want you to come in, and they tell you. And you're like, can I read it? And they're like, no, I'll tell you what happened. Sorry, put the book down. But it's interesting because when you read the stories, you think of them as lofty, kind of like, but some of them are just basic life in the Jesus life. Okay, here's one. This is when he turned water into wine. This is his first miracle. This is John chapter 2, okay? Okay, and on the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the wedding. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus saith unto him, they have no wine here. And Jesus saith unto her, woman, what have I to do with thee? Just life. Mary was a fucking alcoholic. He took her to a wedding, and there's no fucking wine, Jesus. What am I supposed to do here without wine? And he's like, Mom! Don't! Anyway, the rest of the story is that Jesus, he's at the wedding, they had no wine. So Jesus went to the guy running the wedding, and he was like, look in the water barrel. Like that, like a close-up magician. Why don't you take a look? Maybe it's not the Red Queen. Go ahead, flip that card over. What do you think? Told him to look in the water barrel, and he looked, and it was wine. He had turned all their water into wine. Everybody rejoiced. Except the guy running the wedding was probably like, we did need some water. It's actually a bigger problem. I have a feeling a lot of his miracles were met with mixed. Like, oh, thanks. That's great, Jesus. Fuck. Like Lazarus. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. And Jesus comes to town and he says, Lazarus, rise. And Lazarus comes out of the tomb like, and Lazarus' wife is like, are you fucking kidding me right now? But so here's a story though I want to read to you. This story, I've never seen it in a Jesus movie. This story is not in any movies about Jesus. And it's not, I never, until I sat and read this, I never heard this story. Because it's weird. This is the story of Jesus cursing a fig tree. Does anybody by applause know of this story? Okay, that's just enough to make it clear. This is true. I mean, nothing's true in here. But, I'm just kidding. I don't fucking know. What do I know? I wasn't there. I'm just trying to make it clear that I didn't make it up. They did. But anyway, all right, I don't know. Okay, here's the story. This is Mark chapter 11. It's when Mark went broke. Okay. And Jesus entered into Jerusalem, and when he had looked round about and seen all things, and the eventide was come, he went out unto Bethany with the 12. See, Bethany was like a suburb of Jerusalem. So he went in Jerusalem. You see all the shit downtown, but you don't stay downtown. You go to the Marriott by the airport. That's what Bethany was. Okay? And on the morrow, when they come from Bethany, Jesus was hungry. And seeing a fig tree afar off, having leaves, he came to it, if haply he might find anything thereon. But when he came to the tree, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of figs was not yet. And Jesus answered and saith unto the tree, no man shall eat fruit of thee hereafter and forever. And the disciples heard it. And in the morning when they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots and dead. And Peter, calling to remembrance, saith unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou dost cursest has withered away and died. And Jesus answered and saith unto them, Have faith in God. What the fuck kind of a Jesus story is that? Hey, Jesus, you killed a tree. That's right, motherfucker. What's the fucking point to this story? What is the moral? That Jesus just killed a tree. He was hungry. He was fucking cranky. He was like, there's no figs. Fuck you, tree. You're fucking dead, you piece of shit. I wanted a fig. You're fucking dead. Watch this. And the tree's like, but the time of figs is not yet. It's just not yet. I need another week. You want fruit out of season? Go to Whole Foods, you fucking Jew. I didn't do anything. You can't act like that, man. You can't act like that. You walk around acting like that, folks will nail you to a cross. That's what they'll do. They will. You gotta fucking cool it, Jesus. He got a little, that's really what happened. Got a little shitty. A little big, He went to Jerusalem. It's a big town for a boy from Galilee. And he didn't just walk into Jerusalem. He walked in and his friends were like, King of the Jews, y'all. King of the motherfucking Jews. The Jews didn't like that. The Jews are like, not my president, whatever, So they nailed him to a cross. This is what they did. And this, the weirdest thing to me about Catholicism and all Christianity is this image. This image is the image of the biggest, most powerful religion, the cleanest religion. And it's a fucking dead guy with nails, just blood. And it's in every polite room in the world. Every nice, quiet place is a fucking Jesus. And the president and his wife, and they wear pearls, and then we always go to look at the fucking, it's just weird. Because it promotes nicely ideas like honor thy mother and thy father. Because they, it's just macabre. But I love it. I love the image. I love it. I was raised Catholic my whole life. I love this image. I stare at it. Every time I go by a church, if it's open, I go in because I want to see their Jesus. They all have a different Jesus. They're a little different. Some of them he's really suffering. And some of them he's just like, oh, well. I really got myself in a noodle this time, boy. Sometimes it's just a cross, like, oh, fuck, where'd he go? Jesus got away. But they're all different. I was in a Korean church, and I saw a Korean Jesus. They had a Korean Jesus with the... Don't get mad. How else would I know? It was just what Korean Jesus. Ooh, whatever. Jesus looks different everywhere. Mostly Jesus has blonde hair and blue eyes, which we know he didn't have, but that's who won everything, so they get to draw him. The truth is Jesus was black, but you don't see that often. Black Jesus. Hey man, get me the fuck down from here. Whatever, all right. But everybody wants Jesus to look like them, so they draw him to look like them. That's why I don't like that he's always skinny. Jesus is always rail, just fucking, I've been doing Pilates for months getting ready for this. It's not fair. You never see a fat Jesus. I never one time saw like just a fat Jesus.
with like 10 nails in each hand.
He might have been fat. We don't know. I'll tell you what Jesus was not, is Korean. There's no Koreans in Jerusalem in the year 1. But I was raised Catholic, and I ended up walking away from that because I didn't like it. You know why? Because they tell you you're going to hell. And they tell little kids that. You're 5 years old, and the church, with all its majesty and all the buildings and the clothes, they go up to a 5-year-old and they're like, oh, you're going to hell. Oh, yeah. You're going right to hell. And you're 5, and you're like, what did I do? And the church is like, you know what you did, you piece of shit. And you're going to full hell, too. There's no kids' hell, you understand? You're going right to the show. If you're 5 years old, you steal a crayon from your sister, and then you lie about it, you get hit by a truck, you're roommates with Hitler. There's no difference. There's no difference. They take you in a room, and they're pouring hot lead into Hitler's asshole. He's like, ah! And then you walk in there like, all right, step up, it's your turn. Hitler's like, oh, good luck, little fella. Poor Hitler, man. I mean, at this point, he's been down there for 75 years. He's probably nice now. Hitler's probably nice to newcomers in hell, you know. Hi, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. What's that? Oh, yeah, okay. I was so scared of hell when I was a kid. I remember when I found out that gay people go to hell, according to the church, and I got scared. Because I'm not gay, but what if God thinks I'm gay? What if I come off a little queer to the Lord? What if he happens to glance at me when I hit my toe and I'm like, ow? He's like, huh, I know where you're going, you faggot. I mean, that's their thing. I don't believe that. God doesn't hate you because you're gay. God made you gay because he hates you. No. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. There's no God. But you know who I feel sorry for? Who I really feel sorry for is a gay man's sperm. Just think about that. That's a tough destiny. Being a sperm inside of a gay man, this is hard luck. Because if you're gay, that's great. But your sperm is not gay. Your sperm is just excited, like, we're next, fellas, here we go. Is that shit right there? Who's shitting this chick's pussy? Very much. Thanks. Nice to all right, nice to see you all. Thanks for coming. I've been thinking about you all day. How are you? How was your last couple of years? How was 2018 and 19 for you guys?
Anybody else get in global amounts of trouble? Anybody else? Fuck. That was crazy. Man, I was in a lot of trouble. Wait till they see those pictures of me in blackface. That's gonna make it a lot worse. Because there's a lot of those. There's thousands of pictures of me in blackface. I can't stop doing it. I like it. I like how it feels. Fuck, man, that was... You know what? I learned a lot. I learned how to eat alone in a restaurant with people giving me the finger from across the room. When you get in trouble, you learn who your real friends are. It's true. People like saying that like that's a good thing. Who the fuck wants to know who their real friends are? You don't want to know that, believe me. You don't want to know. It's never who you want it to be. It's not your cool friends, and it's not your fun friends. It's your real friends. I'm here for you. I fucking know that. I have this friend, she's the best person I know, but I sometimes want to punch her in the face because she's so nice. Because I'm not a good person. Like, I'll tell her something I'm having problems with, and she'll say, I'm going to pray on that for you. I have a feeling when she prays, God's like, ugh. Fuck. This one makes me want to get out of the business. Do you guys think there's a God? How many of you, by applause, believe there's a God? How many people? All right, it's about 30 out of 1,400. That's nice. That's nice. That shit's over. It's just fucking over. You go into a church, it's like going to a roller skating rink on a Wednesday. It's like, this used to be something. What happened? I don't know. I don't think there's a God. And that's not a conviction. I just don't suppose. I just reckon there ain't. I reckon there ain't no Lord. And because I don't believe there's a God, I fucking hope there's not a God. I fucking hope. Oh, please. If you don't believe in God, you better fucking hope. You better get on your knees and pray. Please, God, don't be. Because that's a bad thing to be wrong about. That's a bad wrong. You're an atheist your whole life and you die and you're like, oh, fuck. Oh, you're shitting with a beard and everything. Fuck. Oh. Yeah, I'm going. Yep. Being wrong the other way is not a big problem. If you believe in God and you're wrong, you don't really have a problem. It gives you a little comfort in your stupid life. And then at the end, you're just seriously disappointed for like a second. It's the last feeling you get to have. You die, you're like, nothing? Seriously, nothing? Yeah, just get in the dumpster, sorry. Sorry, you're just garbage now. I mean, if you don't believe in God, that's what you believe, that when you die, you're just garbage. You are your family's newest garbage. My mom died last year, and we asked her, like, what do you want? Like, before she died, we didn't ask her. Mom! Fuck! I asked my mom what she wanted us to do with her body, and she said, just burn it. That's what she said. Burn it. What, in the yard with leaves? What the fuck? She didn't want a funeral, no pageantry, nothing. So she booked it herself. That was her last act as an American consumer. She went online with a credit card and she booked her own cremation. It's true. At a place called Boston Crematorium. Just this place that burns bums and dogs all day, and they just folded my mom and did a workload. We didn't even know, just this guy showed up. I'm here for you, Ma. All right, Sully, she's in there. And he went in there to prepare her. My sisters are waiting in the hall, and he was in there for a while. I didn't say anything. I'm just saying he was in there with my mom for a long time. That's all I'm saying. And also that I was worried he was fucking my dead mother. Anyway, then he brought her out in a kind of a nice bag, and he put her in a van. Just his van. It was like a 98 Ford Windstar with a bottle of red Gatorade rolling around in the back. It's the last time I saw my mom. It's what she wanted. Because she didn't believe in this God shit. She just didn't. I was talking to my friend the other day about Jesus Christ. And I don't remember why, but I happened to mention that Jesus was Jewish. And my friend said, he was? And I said, yeah, Jesus was Jewish. And he said, I don't think so. And I said, that's okay. It already all happened. Doesn't matter what you think. But he argued with me. He was like, dude, Jesus couldn't be Jewish. Think about it. I'm like, you fucking think about it, you idiot. What was he then? Was he Presbyterian? What was he? Catholic? Okay, Jesus was Catholic. And he had a gold chain with a cross. And when they nailed him up, he was like, oh, that's why we have those. That finally makes sense. I didn't even know. Oh, fuck, that's me. I'm the little guy on it. Every religion has a strange story or a rule that doesn't make sense to me. You know? Like, every time there's a terrorist act, they always tell you on the news about how they believe they're all going to heaven, and every guy who does a jihad thing, and he gets 72 virgins. That's right. That's the story always. 72 virgins. Which, first of all, who are those women? Who are the 72 virgins? Does God have to kill 72 nice girls? And, all right, ladies. The good news is you're going to heaven. The weird news. Or does God just make them fresh like farm-raised salmon? He just whips up 72 women. All right, nobody fuck these. I'm saving them for that guy. It's a weird concept. You get your own 72 virgins for all eternity. First of all, they're only virgins when you first get them. Once you start fucking them, it's over. After a week, he's like, I only have 3 left. And 69 whores. That has to be one of the more confusing moments in God's life, when he's handing off 72 virgins to some guy who just blew up a bus in Tel Aviv. And he's like, all right, what the fuck am I doing? I don't even know anymore. I need a drink. I'm curious about God. I'm curious about his life. I'm curious about God's existence. What's that like to be God? You know, we don't know anything about him. I think one reason people don't believe in him because we don't have a sense of God, because it doesn't say anything anymore. He used to talk all the time. He used to go up to people on the street. Hey, tell everybody does that. Writing on the rocks. Look at that! Do it! And it was confused. Everybody's like, oh, okay, trying to figure it out. And then for 2,000 years, he just, nothing, says nothing. And everybody's fighting. He could clear a lot of shit up with a 5-minute press conference. If God spoke for 5 minutes, he'd solve a lot of problems. He'd just show up, all right, everybody, yeah, I'm the Lord, okay. Real quick. First of all, Mormons just, no. What is that? Just go home.
Also, Jews with the little things. What the fuck? I don't know. Put a hat on or don't. Nobody gives a shit. This is weird. I hate these. I hate them. I send everybody with one of those to hell every day.
I do. It's just my thing. Just so you know. Do what you want, but that's where you're going. Now you know.
Also, I don't care who you fuck. I don't care. It never mattered. It was Adam and Eve and Steve. They were all fucking each other. I was jerking off to it. It was a great time. So it's not an issue for me. I don't know why it is for you. Have fun and use all the holes. That's what I say. Also, you're supposed to fuck the animals. That's why I made them. Why are you not fucking the animals? There's only like 30,000 of you fucking the animals. What are the rest of you? You're eating them? That's disgusting. What is wrong with you? How could you eat a perfectly fuckable pig? Saith